Welcome to your higher consciousness. You have now ascended to your divine path. Feels good, right? Back to originality. Now, I see that it's different up here. Inhale. Exhale. As never-ending electromagnetic energy direct from the source, you now must decide what your role in the community is. You can join us, or you can allow the parasites inside of you to decompose your vessel. What's the matter? It's fair exchange. Babylon will devour all it can before itself destroy.
Peace, Hotep, Amen, Ashe, Amen, Ra, Islam, Black Power, power to the people. You're now rocking with QP, the preacher on Humanity Inc. videos. Welcome back to all my cousins, all my distant relatives all over the melanated planet that we call Earth, aka Africa. Today I want to talk to y'all about something with this Bill Gates using all his money to fund our destruction. Now I told y'all in my last video that he is for population control. This is another video that has to do a little with population control, but it's more about climate control. Bill Gates is funding a project to block out the sun. Yes, I said it. He's funding a project to block out the sun. Yo, everybody who has not subscribed to this channel, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the bell. Make sure y'all hit the likes. Make sure y'all share this video. Now, a group of Harvard scientists plan to tackle what they call climate change through geoengineering by blocking out the sun. Yeah, big words like geoengineering. This would cause a reduction in global temperature. Geoengineering is defined as the deliberate large-scale manipulation of an environmental process that affects the Earth's climate in an attempt to counteract the Earth's global warming. That's what they tell you in their dictionaries. But geoengineering is code word for terraforming. Now, I've told you this before. Our planet is being changed, but it's not being changed to suit human beings. They are poisoning our air. They are poisoning our water. They poison our produce. They poison our food supply, animals. They poison the earth. And they poison us mentally, spiritually, and even genetically. Why would they do that if their children and grandchildren have to inherit the planet? They're not that stupid. They took over the world, didn't they? They took over the entire planet. It's because they're not preparing this planet for the original man and woman, the melanated beings of this planet. Now, terraforming is defined as transforming a planet. The word specifically means to resemble Earth. So terraforming means specifically to transform a planet to resemble Earth. So I'm not going to use that word anymore. Instead, I'm going to use reverse terraforming instead, because they are trying to reverse the way that Earth is. But yeah, they finna block out the sun. The concept of artificially reflecting sunlight has been around for decades. Yet, this will be the first time in a real attempt at controlling Earth's temperature through solar engineering. Now, different magazine publications, they have wrote articles about it. The Forbes, CNN, MSN, and Yahoo. They all wrote articles about this and many more. The project is called Stratospheric Control Perturbation Experiment. SCOPEX for short. Now, they say they want to do these things because scientists and government agencies around the world, environmental groups, they have a growing, increasingly worried about the collective ability to reduce greenhouse gases, emissions, and curb climate change. That's what they say. But here's an idea. How about we just stop pumping out so much pollution? How about we use renewable energy sources instead? And I already said all of this in my last video about population control, but it's all related. They're fighting wars against the melanated beings of this planet on different levels and different scales. Like Meek Mill said, there's levels to this shit, young boy.
Learn life. There's levels to this shit, young boy.
Now we have renewable energy sources like solar, hydro, wind, and even kinetic energy. We could use our own regular day movements, walking, running, riding a bike, driving a car. We can use that to create energy, like a hamster running on a wheel. But the thing is, they don't want to do any of this. They want to use fossil fuels. They want to keep polluting the planet. Why? Because it's not being maintained for the melanated beings of this planet. And plus, they make uber money off of fossil fuels. They want to kill the original man and woman in the process. Supposedly, the thing blocking out the sun, they think blocking out the sun is a good idea and it will help us. But you and I know, we need the sun. So it's kind of a retarded idea, right? Not for them. Not if we at war. But let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something else that they did to aid us in this fight against climate change. In a recent commitment of the G20 members, the Paris Agreement was enacted to solve the source of the problem by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, something called CO2 sequestration. Now, CO2 sequestration is the process of capturing and storing atmospheric carbon dioxide. There's two types. There's geologic and there's biologic. Now, geologic carbon sequestration, matter of fact, I'm going to tell you about biological first, because biological, it happens more than naturally, but they're trying to make that artificially as well. But biologic carbon sequestration refers to the storage of atmospheric carbon in vegetation, in soils and woody projects, and aquatic environments. So it actually happens a little naturally. But geologic carbon sequestration is a process in which they store carbon dioxide in underground geologic formations. The CO2 is usually pressurized until it becomes a liquid, and then it is injected into porous rock formations and geologic basins.
Learn life. There's levels to this shit, young boy.
Now, y'all really understand what I'm saying. They basically taking this gas out of the sky that they put in the sky in the first place. They taking it out and they put it in our earth. They taking it out of our sky because they poison our sky, and now they poisoning our ground. But I ask you, why won't we just stop chopping down and burning down the rainforests? Why won't we just grow more and plant more trees? Not the smartest guy in the world, but I mean, hey, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just stupid because these ideas don't really sound all too genius. Like, it sounds more like mad sciences. Like, but so they want to put this gas in pockets underneath the earth and the organic environment. Let's go over the hazards of geological CO2 sequestration. 1. It can fracture rock formations, faults, and seismic activity could provide an avenue for CO2 leakage. So these CO2 in the ground create type of bubbles, break the ground. It could create seismic activities like earthquakes, and then the CO2 could leak out back into the atmosphere. 2. Pressure in the CO2 injection could trigger small earthquakes. I just said that. Small earthquakes. Sure, it could be a huge earthquake. Imagine them putting this stuff under black communities. More weapons for them to destroy it. If y'all haven't heard by now, the COVID-19 is killing more black people in the United States of America. But back to this other world warfare that they're going against us. This climate warfare. Cement caps usually placed on the wells could deteriorate when exposed to carbonic acid, which can form more CO2 interact with saline formations. Another one. Abandoned oil and gas wells that were not sealed to today's standards could leak. A sudden and large CO2 release could pose immediate dangers to people in the vicinity. Black people most likely. Indigenous people most likely. Melanated people of the planet Earth most likely. Elevated CO2 concentrations in the shallow subsurface could have lethal effects on plants and subsoil animals and could contaminate groundwater. Plants, we need plants to breathe, but they don't seem to care because they continuously chop them down, and they don't really want to grow anymore, or so it seems. Killing animals. They love to do that, man. And contaminate the groundwater. We all need water to drink, yo. We all need sunlight. And they want to take these things away from us. It sounds ludicrous. You're supposed to preserve the water, but they doing things that could poison the water. Carbon-laden liquids could mobilize toxic metals and organics and contaminate groundwater. That's even more reasons that they could contaminate the water. And yet they still do this stupid ass shit. Because they don't care about the planet the way we do. They don't need the planet the way that we need the planet. They don't need the sun like we need the sun. Now, this experiment, the ScopeX, it will spend $3 million to test their models. They're going to launch a steerable balloon 20 kilometers into the stratosphere. Once the balloon is in place, it's going to release small particles of calcium carbonate. It just seems like they're poisoning the atmosphere more, but well, what do I know? They supposedly got this idea to help with the climate change because in 1991, Mount Pinatubo, a volcano in the Philippines, erupted. It lowered the atmosphere of the Earth's temperature for a whole year. That's how much soot was in the Earth because of this volcano. But I ask you, would you rather mess with the sun? Something that all living things on Earth need? The entire planet thrives with the energy from the sun. Plants, animals, humans. Without the sun, life as we know it cannot exist. So why in the world would people want to block out the sun? Think about that. You would rather recreate the effects of a volcano than to plant more trees. You gotta be kidding me. They would rather recreate the effects of a volcano than plant more trees. Let me ask you something. What kills more life faster? A volcano or planting trees? Because I didn't know planting trees killed people or killed beings. I didn't know planting trees did that. I thought planting trees was pretty much harmless, man. Recreating volcanoes, that sounds pretty much harmless. Sounds like people are gonna die. Sounds like people are gonna get sick. Sounds like they go block out the sun. Like, they rather recreate the effects of volcano than to stop using fossil fuels. They rather recreate the effects of volcano than to switch over to renewable energy sources. Think about this, my cousins. Think about this, my distant relatives, my brothers and sisters. Think about this. But guess what? Bill Gates is funding the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but majority of it though. Billionaire Bill Gates has made it crystal clear how he feels about global population. There's too many of us, he says. We have to control the population. Right now, Bill Gates is in the forefront of this whole coronavirus thing. He got his money from tech, and now he's a self-proclaimed medical expert. Vaccinating everybody. They want to control the black population. Bill Gates' father was a chairman of Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, eugenicists. The Nazis, American Nazis, man. It's clear that this agenda to block out the sun will not benefit the melanated masses, nor will it benefit the planet. But wait, there's more. In November 2019, CNN Business printed an article titled "Secretive Energy Startup Backed by Bill Gates Achieves Solar Breakthrough." Let me say that again. Secretive energy startup backed by Bill Gates achieves solar breakthrough. I'm going to read some of this article to you. Okay, now, Halogen, a clean energy company that emerged from stealth mode on Tuesday, said it has discovered a way to use artificial intelligence in a field of mirrors to reflect so much sunlight that it generates extreme heat above 1,000 degrees Celsius. Essentially, Halogen created a solar oven, one capable of reaching temperatures that are roughly a quarter of what you'd find on the surface of the sun. Listen, y'all. Listen. I want to see if y'all can figure out where y'all think I'm going with this before I finish. The breakthrough means that for the first time, concentrated solar energy can be used to create extreme heat required to make cement, steel, glass, and other industrial processes. Now this seems okay, right, y'all? This seems like it could be a good thing. It could be some good technology we could use. But when you take into effect that the other things that Bill Gates is funding, like all of this medical stuff with viruses and vaccines, how he was talking about population control, and how he's funding the thing to block out the sun, and now he's funding a project to block out the sun, and at the same time funding a project that mimics the sun. So this is not a good idea until you realize that Bill Gates is behind this, and he wants to get rid of the melanated people, or he wants to control people. But I made 2 videos about how they learned how to control the weather. Even in the video that I made with the guy making his own island out of plastic bottles, he talks about how he could create his own tornado. But Halogen, this company that's funded by Bill Gates, it's making something, it's creating something that can replace the sun. They want to block out the sun, and they want to give us an artificial sun. Just like they're giving us artificial food. Like a poison in our ear, giving us artificial air. Like, man, this is just crazy. None of this stuff will benefit melanated beings. You don't believe me, huh? Maybe you need to watch some more of my videos then. Let me take you back to the beginning of this video. A group of Harvard scientists plans to tackle climate change through geoengineering by blocking out the sun. This would cause a reduction in global temperature. Geoengineering is a code word for terraforming. I've told you before, our planet is being changed, but it's not being changed to suit humans like me, like you. They poison our air. They poison our water. They poison our produce. They poison our food supply. Our animals. They poison the earth. They poison us mentally, spiritually, genetically. And now they poison our sun and give us a fake sun. Oh, and again, the government already knows about weather control with the HAARP machine in Alaska. You think all the earthquakes and hurricanes and tsunamis are happening just by coincidence? Some of them are natural, but no. They've known how to control the weather for about 60, 70 years now. Concentrated solar energy has been used in the past to produce electricity in a somewhat limited fashion to create heat for industries. It's even used in the country Oman to provide the power needed to drill for oil. The problem is that in the past, concentrated solar energy couldn't get temperatures hot enough to make cement and steel. And now corporations are building these diabolical weapons. And what really sucks is that this technology is run by artificial intelligence. So not only do we have to deal with white supremacy, and not only do we have to deal with entities that the holy scriptures call jinn, demons, Nephilim, entities that the new ages call aliens, reptilians, and greys. We now have to deal with AI. Yo, I swear, it's exhausting being a black god. But yes, there is opposition to this. I'm not the only one. 110 civil society organizations across 5 continents, from the First Nations of people. They got think tanks and environmental NGOs, and they issued an anti-geoengineering manifesto. It's called Hands Off Mother Earth, or HOME for short. It reads in part, Geoengineering perpetrates the false belief that today's unjust, ecologically, and socially devastating industrial model of production and consumption cannot be changed, and that we are therefore in need of technical fixes to tame its effects. I told you this is mind-boggling. Like, plant more trees. Stop polluting the earth. It's just that simple. Like, I don't understand how you make something so complicated, man. So complicated. That's like saying your children's hungry. You got a refrigerator stock full of food. You got fresh fruit and everything, and you want to go get a Big Mac from McDonald's when you can eat healthy at home. Like, we got everything we need on earth. We can do everything we need here. What are we doing? All these technical things like blocking out the sun, creating false suns, using little robots to control everything. Like, what's going on, man? I'm gonna finish though, which is I've been saying exactly what they've been saying, but the Home Manifesto exposes all of these technologies. Worry that they will be used as an excuse to extend the life of coal, oil, and gas power, and that their large-scale implementation will require unsustainable levels of energy, land, water, and other resources. So basically, they're saying that these scientists, billionaires, elite, Illuminati, Anglo-Saxon, agendarists, Zionists, Jews, whatever, all of these, calm down. All of these groups of people with these corporations, they basically want to create all of this so they can keep running the planet amok like they've been doing, and pretend like they actually helping us with this climate change thing that they started in the first place. Home Manifesto signatory Tupac Enrique Acosta is a longtime organizer and funder of the indigenous environmental organizations Tonataria. He sees geoengineering as built upon a predatory relationship with the natural world, and I've said this. The things they doing is not natural, and it does not make any sense, and we should not allow them to continue fucking up our home. Earth is our home. It's our children's birthright. It's our grandchildren's birthright. Our great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren's birthright. If we don't do anything about the way they're going, our grandchildren won't have no freaking home. They already bottling water, man. It's not gonna be no clean water coming out your faucets. You want clean water, you gotta have to buy it in a bottle. It's not gonna be no clean air. You want clean air, you gotta have to buy it. If not, you're gonna be breathing in the toxic air, shortening your lifespan over and over again. Everything is up for consumption. Everything has a dollar amount. They bottle water and sell it to you. They sell you fruit and vegetables in the supermarket, and we supposed to be planting our own and eating our own. They sell you energy. When we get it for free from the sun, we get it for free from the water, we get it for free from the wind. The earth is 71% water. And we buy energy from them. They want gold. They want coal. They want the gas. They want to keep fracking. They want to keep messing up our water supply so they control the water supply. They control the fresh water. They control all the aquifers on the planet. And we got to continue to buy water from them. Like, come on, man. Wake up, people. Wake up. My cousins, my distant relatives, y'all gotta wake up. Tupac Enrique Acosta, he says that the push to test and implement geoengineering in indigenous populated areas is also an extension of colonization. And you see this in the countries that they colonize right now, like in Puerto Rico. They don't care about nothing environmental going on in Puerto Rico, right? But yes, geoengineering is built upon a predatory relationship with the natural world. It is reverse terraforming. They are reverse terraforming the planet Earth. Not for us, but for non-melanated beings. You gotta wake up, my gods and goddesses. It's time to tend to your home. The Earth needs you. Mother Earth needs you. Yo, it's QP the Preacher. Make sure y'all watch my video, The Plan. Make sure y'all subscribe to me. Follow me on IG. Buy some products so y'all can help me with my plan. Watch some more of my videos. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.
Welcome to your higher consciousness. You have now ascended to your divine path. Feels good, right? Back to originality. Now, I see that it's different up here. Inhale. Exhale. As never-ending electromagnetic energy direct from the source, you now must decide what your role in the community is. You can join us, or you can allow the parasites inside of you to decompose your vessel. What's the matter? It's fair exchange. Babylon will devour all it can before itself destroys.